So hi, everybody. I want to just welcome you again. And I know Katie's really excited that you guys are all here to come and learn about our health. And I am going to screen share in a presentation that we're going to go through. It's only going to take about 30 minutes, start to finish. And I'm so excited that you guys are here. And I just want to thank you again. Okay. And then I will, if you guys are not muted, which it sounds like everybody's mostly muted, but if you can mute yourselves, and then at the end, if anybody has any questions, we're happy to stay on for a few minutes and answer some questions. Okay, so tonight we are going to be talking about simple changes. You know, I will tell you a little bit about my story as we get into this, but I did not always have thriving health. And so I am a person that is deeply grateful every single day for my good health. And I love sharing this message with other people. So as we kick off our little talk tonight, you know, health used to be simple. I think a lot of us would agree with that. It wasn't the latest superfood or a new diet craze. It was healthy, fresh vegetables from grandma's garden. In fact, I grew up with a garden in my backyard. Kids played outside until it was dark. They drank from a hose. And then, you know, at the end of the day, everybody was tired and went to sleep. And that is truly how I grew up, for sure. And I think a lot of us probably did as well. And I think we'd all agree that today it is very, very different. Family dinners are replaced with fast food. Neighborhood games outside are replaced with games online, and phones, and sugary drinks have been, you know, are now the drink of choice. It's no longer water. And birthday party treats are now everyday foods. And so many adults, this last one, I don't know if you guys can see it, people are tired. You know, so many adults are so tired because they don't have the energy to get through the day. So the question that I always love to ask when we kick these off is, how are you taking care of you? And I think that we can probably all agree that our health is made up of these four core things. So eating real food, and how are you doing with eating real food? And the way I love to explain this is whatever is on the perimeter of the grocery store. I think most grocery stores are set up the same. And the middle of the grocery store tends to be the packaged foods, the processed foods, things like that. You know, so as much as we can avoid that, I know we all, you know, have some of that stuff, but, you know, really sticking with the perimeter, fruits and vegetables, whole foods. And then exercise. And I always encourage people to find something that they love, because you're gonna do the exercise that you love the most. And I would add in there also finding an accountability element to it. I mean, some people, like for me, exercise is a habit. I don't feel like my day has really started unless I've exercised at some level. But having a buddy to walk with, or to meet at the gym, you know, or taking a class, something like that. So finding something that you love and having some accountability. And then water. We need to drink half of our body weight in ounces of water every single day. And that does not include hydrating with after alcohol or caffeine. So most people that I talk to that are suffering from health challenges of any kind, the first thing I'll ask is, you know, how much water do you drink every day? I think especially school-age kids, especially teenagers. I have a teenager still in high school, and I know that these kids are not drinking enough water during the school day. Okay, and then lastly, sleeping 7 to 8 hours a night. Our body does all kinds of things when it's sleeping. It detoxifies, it repairs, our hormones are able to stabilize and do their thing. And society today is so sleep deprived. It's almost like a badge of honor. People brag about how little sleep that they need, but the reality is that it's not healthy for us at all. So there are two startling trends in this world. I call this the bad news slide, but it's the bad news, but it's also the reality news. And I don't think this is going to surprise any of you guys, but we live in a very toxic world now. I mean, we just have more people in this planet, and we use more gas, we use more, you know, we run more factories, we just have more industrialized processes that create more pollution, and there's just more toxicity in our planet. And then the other trend, and I just touched on this a little bit, is that there is less good food. Our food quality is decreasing. There's more preservatives, more genetically modified foods, more trans fats, pesticides, and the food that we're eating is not as healthy as it used to be. So oxidative stress, this is something that I love to talk about. So the increased environmental toxins and the decreased quality of food is called oxidative stress. And this happens in our body every single day. You know, baby London that Katie is holding, he was born and started this process of oxidative stress. It is essentially aging, and it happens when we breathe, metabolize food, and basically burn, you know, this fuel to operate our bodies. So we're all doing it to a degree. There's so many different causes that exacerbate oxidative stress, including working out, exercise, smoking, and even pregnancy is an oxidative process because there's so much going on to create this new life that are in women. So another example of oxidative stress is down on that apple. So if you cut the apple in half and leave it out, we've all experienced this, right? It turns brown. So if you squeeze a lemon on it, which I'm sure a lot of you guys do, this is what I have to do to get my high schooler to eat it if I pack it in her lunch, it slows down that browning process. And that is because antioxidants are our best defense against this process of oxidative stress. So it helps lessen the process, it neutralizes and protects our cells, and they are truly the only source that provides this kind of defense against oxidative stress, which is really, really cool. So this cover of Time magazine happened in 2003, and this is when I was beginning my journey of sharing the education that I'm sharing with you guys tonight. And honestly, I wish that this was on the cover of Time and most national magazines every single month. I wish that one magazine a month would put this on the cover, because I don't think we can hear this message enough as a society. And the cover of it said is that the news isn't that fruits and vegetables are good for you. It's that they are so good for you that they could save your life. And that is absolutely the truth. So I love this slide as well. Most people know that they're not eating enough fruits and vegetables, right? So 70% of Americans turn to vitamin supplements, which would make sense because we just want to do the right thing for ourselves. And, you know, it's like, well, we're not eating well, so let's just take some vitamins. But let's talk about the difference between vitamins and whole foods. A vitamin has, you know, maybe 1 or up to 50 isolated nutrients that come from this apple. So like maybe they picked 20 or so of these and they put it into this bottle, this man-made, processed, synthetic, isolated vitamin. But the ingredients here represent just a fraction of the tens of thousands of phytonutrients and plant chemicals that the apple has in it. And that's just one apple. There's truly no comparison, because vitamins totally just scratch the surface as far as their potential and effectiveness. Science is telling us over and over and over again to get our nutrition from whole food instead of isolated nutrition. I mean, instead of isolated nutrients from vitamins. And there's actually research that shows that vitamins in larger amounts actually cause more harm than good. I'm going to drink my water. And I always tell people, Mother Nature and God, excuse me, knew what they were doing when they grew this produce. We just have to make sure that we're eating it. So another thing that is important to know is that you have to eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. We need to eat at least 7 to 13 servings of fresh raw fruits and vegetables every single day. So maybe you do need, you know, you are a person that eats 7 to 13, maybe even more than that. But it's also really important to know that the vegetables and the fruit that are grown now have lost up to almost 40% of their nutritional content than what it used to be. Because, you know, they're picked, we have to turn over the soil so much faster now to mass produce all of this produce that we need. It gets put on trucks, it gets shipped all over the country. You know, even where Chris and I live in California, you know, where Katie and Corey used to live, that's farming country. But I can guarantee you guys that I eat apples. I could have bought apples today at Whole Foods. Okay, apples are no longer in season in California. They're not. So they came from a truck. They came from somewhere, probably in Oregon. And I can promise you that even though those apples probably cost $3 each, They have been sitting in a storage facility for months. And that is the reality of the produce that we're eating today. And that is why I am truly grateful that the simple change that my family made 17 years ago was that of Juice Plus, to get more fruits and vegetables into our diet. So it is a way to add 30 raw, vine-ripened fruits and vegetables into your diet every single day. It is non-GMO and it is NSF certified, and I'll talk about that in a second. I love to call it a salad bar in a capsule. It is, it's important to know that the process that the plants go through to be encapsulated or in chewable form is extremely rigorous. All of this different produce is picked when it's vine ripened. They remain attached to the plant until it is absolutely ripe and ready to be picked. And then they are crushed and frozen so that all the nutrients remain intact. And then they're basically dehydrated. And then you're just left with little nutritional powders. And if any of you guys have ever done any juicing before, you know that you can take a whole big counterful of produce and it can fit in my little wine glass. So what we did is we took it a next step further, although the fiber is mostly intact, and then it's put into nutritional powders. And what's really important to know, and what I love knowing, is that the orange peel, the lemon peel, the grape seed, the pomegranate seed, the cranberry seeds, they're all in this process as well. And there is so much nutrition in the peels, the seeds, and the leaves. So that's really, really cool to know as well. I'm just going to mute a couple of people. If you guys aren't muted, that would be so awesome. So I am so proud that my family has taken this for 17 years. It is not a replacement for eating fruits and vegetables. We want you to eat as many as you possibly can, but we know that it's just super hard to do that. So this is my family, and we heard about Juice Plus when these girls were itty bitty and little. My youngest, Sophie, who just finished her junior year of high school, she's 17 and a half. She was a newborn. She was 6 weeks old, and Ellie was 3 and a half. And we were a very sick bunch. I was constantly getting plagued with sinus infections. At 3 and a half, Ellie had had pneumonia twice, and she had had croup countless times. She was absolutely headed for a road of respiratory problems. We had antibiotics in my house all the time. There were either the little pink bottles for the girls or the pills for myself. And I was really looking for something that could help us get better. I had no idea what that was going to be. And I am so grateful that the moms that I ran into at my daughter's preschool one day shared Juice Plus with me. It made total sense to me. I was a busy working mom. I was not feeding my family all this nutritious, produce every single day. It wasn't a priority for me. And I was grateful that I could put my family on Juice Plus. And we did. In a short amount of time, I started noticing that I had more energy. I really did just wake up and start to feel better. I stopped needing to nap all the time in the afternoon. My hair and my nails grew stronger and faster. And we stopped having to go to the pediatrician every single month for antibiotics. And I haven't had a sinus infection and I cannot remember how long. And sure, they still get colds once in a blue moon, but honestly, compared to their friends, especially my high schooler, she's missed 1 day of high school in 3 years. And most of her friends get sick on a regular basis. And I know that Juice Plus is keeping her immune system strong. And Phil and I are in our 50s now. He lost both of his parents to disease very young. And we are so wanting to be active and fun grandparents someday, not soon, but someday. And we want to stay as healthy and active and vibrant as we can. And Juice Plus is a major part of our arsenal. So that is my story. And let's just talk about the shakes for a minute, because the shakes are amazing. They are completely vegan and gluten-free. We have vanilla and chocolate. My favorite is chocolate. It is absolutely delicious. It is whole food protein, fiber, amino acids, and more fruits and vegetables, actually different fruits and vegetables that are not in the Juice Plus capsules. So it's great for any meal, a post-workout recovery, or a mid-afternoon snack. The complete also comes in bars as well, so Katie can tell you about that. This is the macronutrition that we need. So the proteins, the carbs, the fats, the calories. Juice Plus, the capsules, are the micronutrition. They are calorie-free, essentially. There's no sugar, there's no nothing in them. So obviously we have to eat, and you really have to have both. So we have one every single day. My daughter has one every day before high school. My girls work out every day. They actually like to drink theirs before they work out. I like to drink mine after I work out. My husband will have one before a yoga class, and he goes upside down a lot in yoga classes. It's so easy to digest in your system, and we're addicted. We just absolutely, I cannot live without Complete. I travel with it. Keeps us extremely regular. I will say, even when we went to Europe, nobody had any issues. So I'm just absolutely obsessed with the Complete, and I'll talk about a program that we have at the end. So we have 45 superfoods when you are consuming Juice Plus capsules in the Complete every single day. And again, I just feel so good knowing that we have all that. So Juice Plus is unique for a couple of reasons. And we're very aware that there's a lot of nutritional products out there on the marketplace. But here's how Juice Plus is different. First of all, it's food. There is a food label on the back of the label, and I'll grab a bottle and show you guys. In my state, in California, and where Chris lives as well, it's not taxed because it's food. So there is a nutrition label here, and that is a very big deal. The government views Juice Plus as food, not a supplement. So, and it's safe for everyone. Pregnant women, I know Katie took it, and when she was pregnant, now she's taking it nursing. Old people, young people, athletes can take Juice Plus because of our NSF certification. That is a very big deal. The NSF is a private company that certifies that all Juice Plus products, that is what is on the label, is in the product, and that it has absolutely been tested for pesticides, molds, bacteria, stimulants, etc. So it is very, very safe and pure, and it is the most thoroughly researched nutritional product on the market. And this is what I am most proud of, sharing Juice Plus every single day with a variety of people, including doctors and healthcare professionals, because this is the world in which they live. So Juice Plus is the most thoroughly researched nutritional product in the market for over 20 years. And I always like to say, whoops, uh-oh, did I go away? Did I go away? Are you guys still there? Okay, I'm back. The dogs barked and my internet died, but I'm still here. So, but this is important. And, you know, I just want to touch on one study. It reduces systemic inflammation. It protects our DNA. That's why, like, when I look at baby London, he is going to have healthier DNA than his mom and dad. I mean, that gives me chills and goosebumps. That is paying it forward and touching future generations and changing the state of kids' health, which right now, friends, is predicted to be very, very poor. So you all probably know that heart disease is the #1 killer of men and women. This impacts my family. My father-in-law died at 59. Phil and I had only been married for 1 year. It was very tragic and sudden and sad. His first symptom was immediate death. And what we have shown in the American College of Cardiology, which is the most prestigious cardiovascular journal in the medical field, is that what happens when you eat a high-fat meal, and Katie, I'm sure, knows this, is that your blood flow goes like this. It's flowing, everything's working to this when you eat a high-fat meal. That's why if you ask ER nurses and doctors, they'll tell you they see most people Thanksgiving, Christmas, Super Bowl Sunday, because there's so many people eating a high-fat meal. My father-in-law literally, he died at work after a very high-fat lunch. It was very hard. And so they put people on Juice Plus for 90 days, Orchard Garden and the Magic Vineyard. We call it the Magic Purple Pill. After 90 days of being on Juice Plus, there was a 98% reduction in the constriction of those arteries. In other words, even though the subjects ate a high-fat meal, it prevented the closure of the arteries. And that is so profound. I mean, so profound. So I'm really obsessed with the science. It's so important. And Katie can share more about you. It's all on our website. This is my personal favorite program that we have, though, and that is our Kids Eat Free. It's actually family. We call it the Family Healthy Start program. because when a parent, a mom and dad, or it can be, it can be an older sibling sponsoring a younger sibling. It can be a godparent, an aunt, an uncle. It doesn't matter. We don't care who the adult is. When an adult orders Juice Plus, the child is free for up to 4 years. And we ask that the kids be 4, but I'm pretty lenient because I want kids to eat Juice Plus, even if they're 2 or 3. The only reason why we ask them to be 4 is compliance issues. We want them to be able to take the chews and not spit them out in mom's face. But I can promise you they don't, because they're so good. They're really good. In fact, this is my box of Juice Plus gummies that I keep on my desk for samples to share with young moms that I'm so excited for them to share. And I see little wrappers like this in my trash every day because my teenager and all of her friends come in here and eat my gummies. So what happens when, and by the way, college kids are also eligible for this program, and I'm super passionate about that as I have college-age daughters now, and I know what happens when they move out of mom's house and they go away to college. Their eating goes from this to this. So I'm super passionate about these kids being able to take Juice Plus. So what happens? 56% of kids are taking over-the-counter medication and prescription drugs. That is...
Did that crack the table?
No.
Whoops. If someone's not muted, if you guys could mute. I can't see you.
Yeah, I hope they weren't like asking if like I can, like, hey, are you there? I can't see them. Hold on. I don't think I can mute them unless I stop screen sharing. So 60% are missing fewer days of school and work. And one of my patients asked, she just started, if I would just watch this.
Do you have to watch it right now?
And we can hear you, and now we can't hear her. How's that? I have the magic button. Okay. We'll get back with her later. So anyway, sorry you guys. 71% of kids are drinking more water. 71% are consuming less fast food and soft drinks. 89% of these kids are more aware of their health, and 96% are reaping a positive benefit of some kind. We have over 1 million children in this study, and we have given away as a company millions of dollars of free Juice Plus to kids. I am so proud to be a part of a company that cares this much about our future and kids. This is the largest nutritional observational study on kids, and we only survey the 100,000 of the best surveys that we get. So if you're a part of the family health plan that we call it now, make sure you fill out those surveys, because we definitely want to hear how you're doing, especially if you have a child that, doesn't eat their fruits and vegetables, or, they've got some health challenges. So 10 years ago, we surveyed our customers and we asked them, what's important to you and what else are you taking? And overwhelmingly, they came back to us and they said, we love omegas, but we don't like the fish oil. So we have been hard at work for 10 years putting together a plant-based omega blend, and I'm really, really thrilled with what we have. It is a plant-based blend of the omegas 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9. They have basically cut out the middleman, i.e. the fish, which we're learning really has a lot of potential negative impacts because fish have mercury in them. So we're learning a lot about this, and I'm really enjoying what we're learning. So they went really basically straight to the algae, which is what the fish eat, and the plants. So the Juice Plus Omega is the first of its kind to use a low temperature technology so that none of the delicate oils in the Omega are damaged. And I have to say, I tell everybody this, I took the Omegas when the company sent them to us a year ago to be a good girl, and I'm a leader in the company, and they asked us all to take it, and I really expected nothing. But this is really important to us because my husband's mom passed away of dementia and Alzheimer's. So, he especially very much wanted to be proactive with his brain health. And I have to say, I was really amazed. My hair, super thick now, thicker than it's ever been. I had more energy, which I just didn't even think was possible. And I remember my dreams for the first time in a long time, which I just think that's really weird. I'm like, why didn't I remember my dreams before? And I remember them now. And I think a part of my brain, just woke up. So I think that's interesting. So just wrapping up, you guys, I don't want to keep you for too much longer. We have a really interesting evolution that's happened over the last couple of years. And this is something that, again, I was I have to say I was a little bit skeptical about, but because Juice Plus is such an incredible product, and we had people asking us if we had a quote detox program, we actually have a few, really high level physicians and biochemists that put together a really beautiful program that allows people to have what we call a jump start. It is not a diet. It is not shredding 10 pounds in 10 days. And I will tell you a little bit about it. So if you look at this slide, and don't get too caught up on this slide, but basically we all have toxins in our bodies. If you remember at the beginning of this talk, I shared that. And what holds on to our toxins are our fat cells. Fat cells are what protect our toxins from hitting our vital organs all of the time. So people who go on diets, they restrict their calories, they exercise a lot. The toxins, the fat may go away, but the toxins are now exposed. So the body really goes into this mode where it wants to protect itself, and it is craving back that fat, which is why so many people, especially as they get older like me, those fat cells have been depleted and then expanded and then depleted and then expanded, and they really just want to stay expanded. But if you think about the idea of shredding your toxins and focusing on getting the toxins out of your body, it is a much better approach to go after, because the fat that's being held by the toxins goes with those toxins. So that is where you're getting such a better benefit, because if you need to shred some fat, it will go with some toxins if you approach it this way, and it will stay away because you're keeping the toxins at bay. So this shred program that we have, it's a monthly program. We run them once a month. We do it all through Facebook. We have incredible resources. We have guides. We have recipe guides. It's actually very simple. We're in the middle of one right now. This isn't allowed. I'm here to tell you. Chris and I are taking a shred pause, as we call it. But the idea is super simple. You take Juice Plus and you drink 2 shakes a day. 2, because it really is a game changer when you go from 1 to 2. I've experienced that for myself. You drink plenty of water because you're flushing out those toxins. You really want to rest and detoxify. So sleeping, making sure you're really taking care of yourself and sleeping. Exercising most days, getting in that movement. And then, friends, here's where the fun comes in. For 10 days, you want to eliminate gluten, dairy, alcohol, caffeine, processed foods, artificial and refined sugars, and you want to shoot for closing out your eating by 6 or 6:30. That, I know, is a struggle for a lot of people. I do realize that. And the reason why we're asking you guys to give up these foods is because they're inflammatory. And even though, everyone can make up stories about caffeine and alcohol, myself included, because believe it or not, it's easier for me to give up this for 10 days than it is caffeine, is that there's still some toxicity going on there. So we really just want to clean house, hit the reset button, as I say. And I have to say, I really have just been amazed at the stories that I have heard for a couple of years now from people who have taken on this. People live this as a lifestyle. They shred all year long, and they've really transformed their health and their bodies. And the person who invited you, Katie, she can share with you some more information about the shred. I really just cannot believe what it does for people. Our tower gardens, of course, are the future of gardening. And I know many of you guys probably live in Iowa, where it's farmland. However, I live in Southern California, and we are running out of water and we are running out of land. And I absolutely love this beautiful invention that is going to allow so many people of all ages, to grow sustainably. Talk about tower to table. This tower, we have 2. They pay for themselves. I have the most delicious lettuce and produce. I love my towers, because we're truly a company that wants you to eat as many fruits and vegetables as possible. And we know that people care about where their produce comes from, as we should. So lastly, I'll just wrap up by saying that we invite you to join our Healthy Living community. We really love to offer free resources. We have cookbooks, we have support groups. We're starting a Start Strong group. We We have webinars every single month. In fact, Dr. Mitra Ray just did a webinar on Sunday all around the omegas and, omega fatty acids in general. It's really, really great education. So that is all down here below, healthylivingrevolution.com. You don't have to buy anything to get into that resource. It's totally free. And we just would invite you to come and be a part of that. So we just want to thank you, and we want to invite you to join us so you can and just be inspired tonight and say, okay, we're going to eat more fruits and vegetables, which would be awesome, and we would be so thrilled. Or you might want to make one simple change and add juice plus to your diet. And honestly, for less than a cup of coffee a day, it is truly the best health decision that my family's ever made. And I am so deeply grateful that I learned about Juice Plus. Or you can jumpstart with our shred for, less than $6 a day. You can basically eat 2 meals and, a snack and a meal and have all of this plant-based nutrition flooding into your body. Or maybe you're sitting here thinking about people that you love and care about, that you would love to have them learn about this. And I just have to throw it out there that we are on a mission to help people get healthy. We're always wanting more people to join us on this mission. This mission has changed my family's life. I was a working corporate mom. I was able to retire from my corporate job and stay at home and raise my daughters on my time. That worked for me and my life, and help people and make a difference. And it's truly just been one of the greatest blessings of my life. I'm so grateful for my Juice Plus family. And with that, I want to thank you guys. And I definitely want to give you all a minute to ask questions. If you have any questions, you can just hit the unmute button down at the bottom. And thank you so much. And I only went 5 minutes over, but we had barking dogs and interrupted connection. So I think we did pretty good. Any questions?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
I just wanted to
I can hear
see
you.
if the unmute button actually worked. I don't really have any questions.
Usually the mute button works, Chris.
It works.
I
Hi,
think
Katie.
10 out of 10. Hello.
That was great, Lisa. That was great information.
Thank you, Lisa.
Good.
Thanks
You're
for getting
so
on.
welcome.
Appreciate it.
And you're looking
Well,
good. That picture of you looks really good. The phone and
That green is really good color.
that green is a good color on you, Lisa.
on
He's like, I hate you.
It's blue. It's blue.
It's
the green phone. This.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, at least you got to hear me the whole time. So.
Yes. Yes.
So thank you, friends of Katie and Corey. I so appreciate you guys listening, and, get with them for sure. If you've got questions, we've got way more information, lots of great videos and stuff. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, blessed weekend. And thank you all so much again.